Texas A&M and just continue to work on his game. We know that he can make plays like this when things are off schedule. He's accurate with the football. Wanted to come back, work on his pocket presence. He's been able to improve in that area, and we know just things off schedule, he's deadly accurate with the football. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country and is set for a big, big year.
52 career touchdown passes for the senior Kellen Mond. High expectations for him. Higher expectations for Vanderbilt. Coming off a 3-9 campaign, somewhat disappointing. And Derek Mason and company have made wholesale changes, including 2 new coordinators. Excited about what the future has for the Commodores.
Yeah, Mike, he decided to shake things up on both sides of the ball, bringing in new coordinators. Todd Fitch comes over. They won 10 games at Louisiana Tech. He was there as well, went to 4 straight bowl games. That's the offense. You'll see multiple sets. They'll just get the ball out quickly, change tempos. On the defensive side, it's Ted Roof, who basically employs that same 3-4 style of defense. It's been a match in terms of coaching heaven, so to speak, with he and Mason. Mason saying that he's learned things from Ted Roof, who's won a national championship at Auburn, been to a lot of other big-time programs, and now dropping his anchor in Vanderbilt.
These teams have only met 2 times in the past. The Aggies have won both meetings. As we check in now, the 3rd member of our sideline or our broadcast team, Taylor Davis. Taylor, excited about the environment. It's going to be a little bit different tonight, but still a great one here in College Station.
You're absolutely right, Mike. It's taken a lot to get us here, but SEC football is back. But it does look different. You're absolutely right. Kyle Field has been reduced to just 25% capacity. That has about 27,000 fans in attendance here tonight. But the traditions will continue. The entire Aggie band has been permitted to be in attendance tonight, as have the Yell leaders. The Midnight Yell was held virtually last night, but the leaders can be found up in the stands tonight on platforms. As for the players, everyone has been tested 3 times for COVID-19 this week. But guys, as different as everything is this year, the energy on the sidelines tonight is palpable. Think about it. These guys did not know if there would be a season this year. There's just a lot of enthusiasm to get between the lines tonight.
I can tell you can hear the crowd already in College Station, and when you think about it, Andre, this might be the largest crowd for a sporting event post-COVID. This is actually a pretty good home field advantage considering what we've been through lately. Toe beats leather, we're underway, and Vanderbilt will have the football first at the 25-yard line, and we'll get our first look at the true freshman quarterback, Ken Seals.
Very mature for his age. Had an outstanding high school career where he threw for over 5,700 yards, 53 TDs in his in that career in high school. Coach Mason said, hey, he's just poised. He doesn't play like a freshman, distributes the ball, and knows the entire offense in a very, very short period of time.
They're young at quarterback. They're young at virtually every skilled position. They lost a lot of production from a year ago. Seals will start things off in the shotgun on first down. They'll go to the ground game. Not much doing there. Wrapped up near the line of scrimmage was Marlowe. And on the stop was Michael Clemens.
Yeah, reshuffle the offensive line, so they're looking to try to really establish the line of scrimmage, see if they can move this big Texas A&M defensive front led by Bobby Brown. Try to move them around a little bit and get some room for the backs to maneuver.
Aggies show blitz, quick throw, deflected at the line of scrimmage. Dr. Pepper Fansville giving fans the keys to the ball game, Andre.
And for Vanderbilt offensively, they can't give up penetration along the offensive front. They've got to contain this defensive line. Then contain the run when they're on the defensive side. For A&M, they got to hit shot plays with Kellen Mond. Worked on that all off season long, and really defensively control the line of scrimmage, which we're seeing them do very early in this ball game.
And it was Jaden Peavy deflecting that pass at the line. The strength of this Aggies defense on 3rd and long. Draw play, big hole left side. And it's Marlowe racing out of bounds near midfield at the 48-yard line.
And Javion Marlowe, the junior running back, kind of a misdirection play, gets a great block by their center, Grant Miller, right in the middle, hits it right in stride, a nice big hole, and when a back can hit at full speed, well, that is danger to a defense.
Marlowe, a highly touted back out of Winter Haven, Florida. The first big play for the Vanderbilt offense.
He was one of two true freshmen to play in 2018. That is got some action early in his career.
On first down, they'll keep it on the ground, left side, and nothing doing that time. Marlowe is drilled. A couple of Aggies there leading the way, including Leon O'Neal, one of the talented safeties on this Aggies defense.
Yeah, he's a USA All-American coming out, U.S. Army All-American coming out of high school, and they really think that he's had a great fall camp and is set for an outstanding 2020 season.
They love their secondary, and they love that front four this year for Texas A&M, led by Mike Elko, the defensive coordinator. Pass is complete at the 45 of the Aggies. That's number 19, the senior Chris Pierce.
Well, how about that pass? Accurate, on time, into the hands of Chris Pierce, and you're making your first start in one of the toughest, I think the toughest place to play college football, and that's here at Kyle Field. And that is speaking from experience, my man.
Yeah, I know you have some memories here. I remember you telling us this week the one thing that your coaching staff told you, don't look up at the crowd.
Yeah, just keep your head down. When you run out on the field, do not look up. Keep your eyes on the field and what is in front of you. Because if you look up, the crowd's moving. It's obviously not a full house tonight, but we can hear that they're certainly capable of making some noise.
First down and 10 from the Aggies' 40-yard line. Again to the ground. Again near side. And it's strung out. Great pursuit there by a number of Aggies. No gain on the play for Marlowe. Number 33, Aaron Hansford, was there to escort him out of bounds. And that is the young man who's replacing Anthony Hines, who opted out.
Yeah, and you look at Marlowe trying to replace Keyshawn Vaughn, who was a third-round pick to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's a young man that's got some big shoes to fill, but off to a pretty good start in this one.
They lost their top running back, their top receiver, their top tight end. And a true freshman at quarterback in Seals out of the gun on second down. Another draw play between the tackles, and this time it's Wakefield tripped up. And brought down by Buddy Johnson, who had 77 tackles a year ago.
Play that was basically opposite of the big run that Marlowe hit, coming from the other direction, where they zone block and allow for a cutback. Nice job there, just getting it to a manageable situation here on third down and 4.
Wakefield in the backfield to the right of Seals, who rolls out right. Coxon fires complete at the 30. And finally knocked down around the 20-yard line. That'll be first down yardage for Cam Johnson, the junior out of Brentwood, Tennessee.
We've seen Ken Seals complete passes from the pocket, and now they put him on the move on third down. This is why Derek Mason was so enamored with Ken Seals, the true freshman, stepping in under center.
This is something Todd Fitch brings to the table, the new offensive coordinator. They'll go a lot of up-tempo, no huddle.
And you'll see a lot of different formations, multiple personnel groups, 2 tight ends and a back, and 1 back, and then 4 wide receivers. They mix it up a lot, keep a defense really on its heels.
Todd Fitch doing great work, as you mentioned, Andre, at Louisiana Tech, working under head coach Skip Holtz. Second down and 8 inside the 20 of the Aggies. Seals. Again, hands off. And again, not
what
much
a
there
run.
for Wakefield with second effort, keeps the legs churning. Nice job by Jamari Wakefield, and finally brought down by Jalen Jones.
And there wasn't any help, like an offensive lineman behind him pushing him. You know, that was all Jamari Wakefield. Carrying guys, that is just determination. Another Mike's third down and medium here for Vanderbilt.
Impressive opening drive, third down and 4 inside the 15-yard line.
Boy, they could run the option right now just to the wide side of the field and give it to the back, and he may be able to outrun the entire defense to the first down marker.
Vandy already 3 for 3 on 3rd down. Not this time. Wakefield brought down from behind by big number 92, Jaden Peavy.
Yeah, it was just a situation where you block the end man on the line of scrimmage. There's nobody for the quarterback, nobody to take the pitch man. And you just flick it out there and let him just run. But when you go between the tackles, now you have to really account for all the bodies inside. Derek Mason going to elect to go ahead and try to put some points on the board.
This might be one of the most athletic kickers in the country, Pearson Cook. He actually runs with the DBs and the wideouts in practice from 33 out. Perfect. And Vanderbilt, with an impressive opening drive, gets on the board first. 3-0 our score here at College Station. Impressive opening drive for the Commodores. 13 plays, 60 yards in over 6 minutes off the clock. A 3-0 lead with a heavy underdog Vanderbilt Commodores, as the Aggies will look to see their first possession of 2020. Kick will bounce in the end zone, and the Aggies will take it out. Ill-advised play there that time, and Vanderbilt stops them inside the 10-yard line. That's the freshman Chase Lane, and that's a freshman mistake, Andre.
Yeah, I guess the adrenaline's pumping a little too much, and saw him. He's kind of feeling things before the game, but you got to be smart. Just kneel that one down and take the field position at the 25-yard line.
So here is our first look at the senior Kellen Mond, the young man out of San Antonio, young overall, but the most savvy veteran in the league, the only 3-year starter. And Andre, I know you believe he's got a chance to have a real breakout season in 2020.
I really do, because of the 5 guys in front of him, a big tight end who should be an All-American this year, and a young wide receiving core that is just full of talent.
Anias Smith is the lone back on first down. They'll fake it to him, swing it out, and it's bobbled. Dangerous play, bobbled by a tight end. And Jalen Weidermeyer's got a chance to have an All-American season.
Yeah, he is a special player at 6'5", 265 pounds, runs somewhere between 4'6" and 4'7", and just really starting to understand online blocking. Got really improved in that area throughout the offseason.
That was Kellen Mond's top target in key situations last year at 6 touchdown receptions.
Yeah, that led the team to 6 TD receptions.
On second down, Mond under hot pursuit, rifles one, and that'll be incomplete. So already behind the 8 ball, the Aggies offense, 3rd and 10.
I always say you can throw them, but you can't go catch them. That one's accurate, should have been caught. You see already Kellen Mond's ability to work within the pocket, something we talked about at the top, that he wanted to improve on this offseason, and spent a lot of time doing that.
It is a raw wide receiver group, very talented, but extremely young and inexperienced. Commodores send 4 on 3rd and 10. Mond from the pocket completes it. Rifles one complete to Chase Lane, the freshman.
Did he hold on to that? What a catch. I thought maybe at the very end this ball came out. It certainly should have been caught. Now they're going to rule it incomplete.
Yeah.
But he's thrown 2 balls that were accurate that should have been caught. And A&M, because of a bad decision by Chase Lane to bring it out, going to punt from their end zone.
Constantino, the freshman punter, and will take a friendly Aggies bounce and go out of bounds just inside the 40-yard lines. The Commodores will have their second drive. You know, to go back to that offensive drive for Texas A&M, Andre, one of the things for us to keep an eye out throughout the night is how do you do it with all these targets? The guy that has the most returning receptions from a year ago for the Aggies is Jalen Preston. So Kellen Mond might be a veteran, but he's got a lot of new faces at wideout.
Yeah, and I think, Mike, that it actually is going to make him a better quarterback because he's not really depending on Jamon Osborne to do the heavy lifting. He's got to spread the ball around, and that keeps defenses off balance.
Speaking of youth, the Vanderbilt offense back out there. That's the tight end on the reception, Bresnahan. From the freshman, Ken Seals.
Yeah, Bresnahan is more of a flex type. You see their offensive turnovers. Third offensive coordinator in 3 years, and now Todd Fitch leading the way. A lot of turnover at Vanderbilt.
They have had 8 different coordinators overall over the last 6 years at Vanderbilt. Pass complete in the flat near side. And that'll be Chris Pierce on the reception. He's a senior. Had 14 grabs a year ago, and the coaching staff says he had the best summer camp of any of the wideouts.
Yeah, he had a big catch in that first drive to move the chains, but a big frame. And they love to move him around. A guy that knows the offense inside and out. And when you can do that, especially with his size at 6'4", 231, you make yourself even that much more important to the offense. And then you wind up getting a lot of balls thrown your way.
Vanderbilt was 3 of 4 on third down on the opening drive. A 3rd and 10 here, as the Commodores will go with a 4-wide look.
This is when the ball's got to come out quickly.
Pass is deflected, incomplete. Nobody really had a chance at that one. Bresnahan was the closest white jersey to the football, and Vanderbilt will have to punt it away.
I know it's an incompletion, but I like it because of the awareness of the situation he's in. He knows it's third down. He knows it's, 3rd and long, and the ball has got to come out. This is pass rush time, and they're coming after me. Make a quick decision and live with it. And I like how the young player right now, the true freshman Ken Seals, is playing.
Smith, the punter, and Ananias Smith back to return and has to leave his feet and haul it in on the move at the 25-yard line. Aggies will have it when we come back. Vandy leads it 3-0. Mike Morgan back with you alongside Andre Ware, Taylor Davis. 3-0 Vanderbilt leading Texas A&M here in the first quarter. Well, 2020 has been an unprecedented year in so many ways. Thankfully, we have college football. That was in doubt. It was in doubt in 1919, 101 years ago, when they had the Spanish flu epidemic going on, and that's when Coach Dana X. Bible, the former Aggies legendary coach, wrote to one of his players, Chick Harrison, urging him to play in the 1919 season, saying a rebirth of college spirit has come into the hearts of every A&M man, and they would wind up playing, going undefeated, and later crowned national champions of 1919. So here we are 101 years later, Andre Ware.
Yeah, is that an omen that it's getting ready to happen again? This is a talented bunch.
I don't know if they can
can't rule it out.
Yeah, they outscored their opponents 275-0. So that would definitely be a hard act to follow. It's one thing to go undefeated. It's another thing not to give up a point.
I do think it's a talented group that they have everything in front of them. Everything. A talented offensive line, a defensive front. That gives you a chance right there. And then you have a quarterback starting in this offense for his third consecutive year. Got to like their chances.
Mond 22-12 lifetime as a starter. Hands it off to Smith. Modest game before brought down by Anthony Orji.
Yeah, Jimbo Fisher, head coach, told us that he's just been a different guy during camp. Just different. Correcting these young receivers that you talk about, really just kind of leading everybody, both through his play as well as verbally. He's just different in his senior year.
On first down, Mond rifles it complete at the 39, breaking one tackle and racing down the sideline, trucking defenders inside the 40, and finally brought down is Ananias Smith. What a catch and run by the sophomore out of Sugar Land, Texas.
Yeah, what you like as a quarterback and as a coach is that he catches the ball, gets right up the field. There's no wasted movement. It's a hit it vertically, and then I'm going to get just physical with everybody. And then you love that at the end. 2 hands on the football to make sure that it doesn't come out.
They love their two-headed monster at tailback with Smith and Isaiah Spiller, a pair of talented sophomores. Now in plus territory now, 1st down and 10. Mon gives to the up back, and that'll be Spiller, bulldozing ahead for a couple. Andre Mintz on the stop for the Commodores.
Yeah, we mentioned it for Vanderbilt. One of the keys to this game, limit the run. They can't live in 2nd down and short all game long. It is a recipe for disaster. Got to figure out a way to stop this Texas A&M running game.
Fifth play of the drive for the Aggies.
Oh, he's got press coverage. A little hitch down here at the bottom as he backs off.
Mond out of the pocket. Misses one complete, making defenders miss, and finally brought down inside the 25-yard line. That is the freshman Cam Brown, the son of the former Super Bowl MVP Larry Brown.
That's nice quick out. Ball's on time where he can do something with it after the catch, and then that's just determination in terms of the yards after the catch. Go ahead and get me a few more.
His father was a 12th round draft pick of the Dallas Cowboys, turned into a fine pro, and again an MVP of the Super Bowl. From the 25, Mond surveys, and in and out of the hands of Chapman. So that's what, 3 drops now, Andre?
I don't know if my count is accurate. I was going to say 3 or 4. I thought it was maybe a 4th drop because he started the drive 0 for 3, and it seemed like everything in that first drive was dropped. This may be nerves from a young group, but hey, it's game day.
Commodores 4-man front on 2nd and 10. Mon, little pitch play to the near side. Past the 20, inside the 10, lunging for the end zone. Touchdown! Anais Smith, what a run!
I thought earlier Vanderbilt was going to go to it when they were down in the red zone against Texas A&M on their initial drive. Well, it's A&M that comes back with the option. Nice quick decision by Kellen Mond. And then the rest, Smith just showing his athletic ability, getting him into the end zone. Boy, what a run after the option pitch.
Gotta love this duo of running backs for Texas A&M, Anais Smith and Isaiah Spiller. 2 extremely talented sophomores. A 7-play, 75-yard drive. Extra point by Seth Small is knocked through, and the Aggies take the lead. 3:33 to go from College Station. A&M 7, Vanderbilt 3. Dari, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you guys later tonight. The best recap show in the country for my money. Dari Noka, Chris Doring, Coach Chiswick do a fantastic job, and a wild and wacky opening weekend so far in the SEC, Andre.
Well, Waddle already doing his thing at Alabama. New quarterback, not much changes for the Crimson Tide. They have got some great skill position players.
Ken Seals back out after that impressive opening drive. Vanderbilt settled for the field goal. This is the 3rd drive for the new-look Commodores offense.
And an important drive for this young quarterback, Seals, in terms of his confidence.
Probes the left side and is stonewalled. Ran right into big number 92, Jaden Peavy, who goes 6'6", 295.
He just fought an ankle injury early last season, and still put up some good numbers as a defensive tackle with 2.5 sacks to go along with 34 tackles. Is always around the football, always creating just, havoc in the middle of that Texas A&M defense.
On 2nd and 9, little toss out to Wakefield for a short gain as we check in with Taylor Davis.
Well, Andre, going back to what you were saying about Jaden Peavy, he's actually someone that caught my attention pregame. He was one of the first guys out here and one of the last to leave. He had his AirPods in, was doing a lot of individual drills, looked like a lot of visualization, mental reps. This guy is locked in. It's no surprise to see his productivity on the field.
Yeah, he's taken over that spot left by Justin Matabuke. Big shoes to fill there.
With time, Seals uncorks a deep ball, and it's somehow caught. What a magic reception there by Abdur Rahman, who reels it in front of Fuller.
Excellent throw. Nice job of working and stopping as you're rolling, just stopping to try, find a way, fit it in the best way you certainly can. And when you have one-on-one coverage, a lot of things happen. And sometimes in a good way for the quarterback.
27 yards and a first down. Commodores back in plus territory. A&M might have jumped. Passes on the money and bobbled incomplete. Intended for Abdur Rahman again. And again covered on the play by Fuller.
He had a great year in 2018 and was hurt all of last season. But you start to see the size pierce. Is that this Vanderbilt receiving crew has 6'4", and then two guys at 6'4" catching passes for you. You don't really have to be perfect as a quarterback. You just get it in the vicinity of these guys.
Have you been impressed by Ken Seals so far?
I have, because you can tell he's played a lot of football. I like the body language so far, especially in an environment like he's playing in.
Grinding out another run is Jamari Wakefield, the most physical of the backs. Transferred in on another tackle for the Aggies.
I've been impressed overall with this Vanderbilt offense. I know they punted the football their last drive, but right now, and that first drive, just solid football.
Again breaking tackles is Jamari Wakefield, finally brought down by the last level of defense, Leon O'Neal.
Boy, he's one of those backs that over time during a game, you're not willing to step in there and go one-on-one with him. You're going to find a shoelace, an ankle. You're not taking him on but above the waist in the fourth quarter.
You mentioned the troubles for Vanderbilt offensively last year. They averaged 16.5 points a game. That was dead last in the conference. They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's going to be Marlowe, but this time it'll be a loss on the play. O'Neal drops him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, trying to find a 1-2 punch with Wakefield and Marlowe, and I think they've got it. You've got speed and excellent zone runner with Marlowe. You've got the power game coming from Jamari Wakefield, but an excellent play in the backfield there by Leon O'Neal, who they told us, Coach Elko told us the safety's going to be big in this game, filling the alleys, tackling in space one-on-one.
Again on the ground. Modest gain for Marlowe. In on the stop to Marvin Leal, and that is a young man, number 8 for Texas A&M, who's got all kinds of ability.
A 5-star recruit and a broken bone, I think, in his hand last year really slowed him. But he has had an outstanding fall camp, and every coach on this staff just raves about that young man.
Vanderbilt holding strong through a 1 quarter of play. The Aggies lead it 7-3. Don't forget, tonight it's the premiere of SEC Football Final, hosted by Dari Noka, Gene Chizik, Chris Doering, and the newest member, Roman Harper. He'll take you through the biggest stories from the day and break all the games down. It's at 10:30 Eastern Time right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Back with you at Kyle Field, College Station. Vanderbilt's been good on third down. They've got a 3rd and 11 here. Seals, the freshman, quick pass inside, and A&M read it all the way.
And the big fella that we just talked about, Leal, agile at 6'4", 290 pounds, and getting out in space, making plays. Now we know he can make plays between the tackles, but when you can do that, that's just raw athletic ability. A force a field goal attempt here for Vanderbilt.
Cook hit one earlier on the first drive. This one will be from 45 yards out. They say he's got a great leg from 50 and in. Snap is good, hold is true, and it will hook left.
Plenty of distance, just started hooking on him.
Man, shopping at Academy is such an experience. It's like fun you didn't even know you needed. All over the place. It's everywhere. What? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So help me if you want to.
I'd love to.
Laura's already in mid-season shopping form.
Laura, it was great work.
So do these fans here at Texas A&M. They did their yell practice last night, ready to go. A lot of students in the crowd here tonight.
Yeah, tons of tradition at this university.
Between 25 and 30,000 fans in attendance at Kyle Field. Watching McKellen Mond, the senior, rifling one complete in the flat far side for a pickup of 8 yards.
And every decision has been a quick one by Kellen Mond. It tells you, hey, he knows the offense, scans, and has made a decision, the ball comes out, and that gives you a chance to be accurate. When you're plugged in between the ears, you're going to play so much better because you know exactly where to go with the football, and that's what starting in an offense for three years has done for Kellen Mond.
Chapman on the reception, sets up a 2nd and 2. Again, a flare. Caught at the 35, juking his way to the 40-yard line is Jalen Preston as we check in with Taylor.
Well, guys, after that Texas A&M touchdown, Derek Mason gathered his defense on the sideline. He calmed them down, said, don't get discouraged, but he did say, I want you to wrap up legs in space. We're tackling too high. He said, these guys are elusive. You can't let them escape your grasp.
Derek Mason, of course, knows a thing or two about defense. Coming from Stanford.
Already, Kellen Mond has found 5 different receivers, and we're extremely early in this ball game, but continuing to spread it around.
Mond out of the shotgun with time over the middle, complete. That's Chase Lane with his 2nd catch. Young man out of Houston, Texas.
Has really come on from a hamstring injury that he suffered early in camp, but this is the receiver that Kellen Mond said that he had the most chemistry with. Expect him to find Chase Lane in some 3rd down situations because of that chemistry. Guys have worked together throughout the offseason, caught a lot of passes.
And their roommates.
Never
hurts from the chemistry standpoint. Now from the 37-yard line of Vanderbilt. Mond on the handoff. Trying to find daylight to no avail. Anais Smith stopped by one of the top defensive linemen in the league. That is Dio Odengbo, the senior out of Irving, Texas.
And he has got some frame at 6'6", 276. A guy that can run 4.6. 2nd team preseason All-SEC. Is just a solid football player across the board and defending the run and certainly getting after the passer.
Played with his brother on this Commodore defense a year ago. A loss of a couple on the play. 2nd and 12. 5 in the pattern for Mond. Goes underneath, completes it to his big tight end Weidermeyer. And Weidermeyer, all 6'5", 265 of them, bangs his way to a couple of extra yards.
And you see why, you know, he was 2nd team All-SEC as a true freshman. Loved the after the catch ability. Got the ability to make guys miss in space, He stretches the field, and that makes, that's really a compliment to the running game. They can do so much when you can get the tight end up the field.
Gain of 11 sets up a 3rd down and 1. Spiller the lone back. And Mond will feed him. Spiller, second effort, should have enough for the 1st down out to the 25.
Well, he is the thumper in this offense at 6'1", 225, but also shows the ability to make defenders miss.
Pretty good pedigree, too. The son of former Aggies tight end Fred Spiller.
Yeah. 975 yards rushing in 2019, and I tell you what, I'd go right back. Actually, it's enough for the 1st down. They're going to go ahead and move the chains. Or maybe take a look at it.
First charge time out of the half, Vanderbilt.
10:21 to go, 1st half. Aggies on top, 7-3. How about that? One of the best SEC games really of all time. Had a chance to catch about half of the overtimes in that one. 7th play of the drive for the Aggies. Mond lobs one, end zone, incomplete. Well covered on the play by that Vanderbilt secondary. Jalen Preston, the intended target.
Interesting play selection. It's been run dominant on 1st down for the Aggies. Seven passes, only 2 runs, and that just shows you the confidence that Jimbo Fisher has in his senior quarterback, Kellen Mond, to come out on 1st down, let him throw it around a little bit.
And you liked that timeout by Vanderbilt before the break, didn't you, Andre?
I do. I liken it to basically a run in basketball where he felt like A&M starting to get hot. Go ahead and call the timeout, rest his players a little bit, and push the reset button.
Aggies, great move in the open field, inside the 10 and down to the 2-yard line. What a juke by Anais Smith.
We were just talking during the break about that young man, and he's just a football player. Can do it as a receiver last season, and he comes back this year. He caught 22 passes last year and 3 touchdowns. Comes back this year, has moved to running back, but the same production.
Holding. Offense, number 85. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remains 2nd down.
And that will bring it back. Jalen Weidermeyer, the tight end, guilty of the holding call. This negates a 24-yard pass play.
On a big 6'5", 265-pound tight end in space, just the guy starts to slip or move, and it's just you reach a little bit, and then all of a sudden here comes the yellow flag.
10:21 to play, 1st half. Aggies leading it 7-3. And a 2nd down and 19. Mond, quick pass, well inside screen, and now trying to weave his way out of traffic is Chase Lane, going all the way across the field and finally escorted out of bounds by Dimitri Moore.
53 1/3 yards wide is the field, and he got just about all of it. I mean, stretching it out, and not a whole lot on the tail end of it.
It was Alston Orgy credited for the tackle.
This is when Vanderbilt has to get off the field, Mike. Got to come up big on 3rd downs. Coach Roof talked to us about that this week. See if they're able to do it here.
3rd and 13. 3-man rush by Vandy. Mond has it knocked out of his hand. That might be a free ball. Scooped up by Vanderbilt and brought down at the 46-yard line. We'll see what they call on the play, but it's Mintz scooping up the football.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense.
The pass rush of Andre Mintz to get to the arm of Kellen Mond and deflect the ball out. Not sure if his arm was going forward or not, but what an effort by Andre Mintz, the senior outside linebacker.
Mintz knocked it loose. Jerkins on the recovery for Vanderbilt.
Had an interesting conversation with that young man, and just very passionate about his senior year. See if indeed Kellen Mond's arm was coming for. I don't think so. I think that's a fumble.
Yep. Empty hand.
No doubt about it. Yeah.
So Commodores take over on the turnover. Texas A&M last year was dead last in turnover margin, -6. And a costly turnover there.
And that will cost you a lot of ball games when you're -6 on the season. That's exactly why a talented roster finished 8-5. You turn it over. Even my 12 and under AAU team, I tell them all the time, you turn the ball over, you're going to put yourself in a position to lose games.
On 2nd and 9, and lassoed down. Looks like Leal on the tackle of Ken Seals.
Well, you are talking about something special in Leal. I mean, the ability to change directions. That's the second, essentially, open field tackle. Vanderbilt tried to run a screen. He was out in the open field making a tackle. This is a defensive lineman we're talking about.
Yeah, 5-star recruit out of San Antonio. 3rd down and 8 for the Commodores. Rolling out right, the freshman Seals. Uncorks one into double coverage and incomplete. A tough one. Tried to thread the needle to Cam Johnson, but he was well covered on the play.
Well, you just don't want anything bad to happen if you're Ken Seals. Go ahead, and that's why you punt the football. You want every drive to end on a kick of some sort, whether it's an extra point, a field goal, or a punt. But you don't want to turn the ball over and give the momentum right back to this Aggie defense.
Smith on to punt for the Commodores. And Ananias Smith, fleet of foot, back to receive.
Ooh. I mean, every time he touches it, he has you on the edge of his seat because you don't know what move he's going to pull out at that particular time.
He's going to field this one in the end zone. He's thinking about taking it out. Oh, he's going. Forget about a touchback. And not a good decision, and he's wrapped up at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to have a block in the back, so half the distance. Trying to free him up. I'm not sure exactly who it was, but clearly a block in the back. Right there. Maybe Brian George, a reserve corner, trying to help his punt returner out a little bit. But Jimbo's giving Ananias an earful for bringing that baby out and not letting it bounce to the back. That's 2 times that both Chase Lane should have downed the ball in the end zone, and there Ananias Smith should have gone ahead and let that one go through and get the ball.
Personal foul, blindside block, number 16 of the receiving team. The foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the result of the play is a safety.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, wow.
So 2 points on the board for Vanderbilt. Crucial mistake by the Aggies. Commodores, the benefactor of a safety on a punt return. Now 7-5 our score. And Andre, we're going to see 2 critical mistakes on this play.
Yeah, a lot of coachable points on this one particular play. You're supposed to plant your feet at the 10-yard line and not go backwards. And if it goes over your head, let it go into the end zone. Then the block in the back is kind of really adding on to an already bad situation that's taken place.
You and I were talking over the break. I don't think I've ever seen a safety on a punt return because normally you don't return a punt from the end zone.
Pretty confident in his abilities, maybe a little bit too confident for Coach Fisher, who caught him right as he was coming off the field. And so did Brian George. He got a pretty good talking to as well.
Not only is it 2 points, it's possession and a severe momentum change for Vanderbilt. Returning it from the 10 and rocked at about the 27-28 yard line. So the Commodores will get it back with 7:15 to go first half. You see some of the mistakes already by Texas A&M. 4 drop passes, a lost fumble, and now a safety on a penalty on a ball that should not have been returned. You know, we mentioned the turnover margin last in the SEC last year.
Yeah.
Took a ton of sacks. And some of the little things, this is what Jimbo Fisher is trying to do. It's not just about the talent at Texas A&M. They've got athletes, but trying to clean things up overall.
And it's just the little things that really win you ball games, or they can cause you problems on your way to a win. And
big hole left
fix those
side.
things up. Go ahead. Sorry about that, Mike.
No problem. Marlowe out to the 40-yard line.
A nice block here. It's kind of just a front side trap. And Marlowe, who's more of the zone runner, does an excellent job in terms of some positive yards on first down.
Seals trying to get to the edge. Not exactly a burner. They don't use him much running the football. Damani Richardson on the tackle. That's the other very talented safety for Texas A&M, number 26, the sophomore.
You know what that run was? Just keeping the defense honest. To let
Keep
you
them
know
honest,
that
right?
we're capable of doing it. And so we want to make you defend it or think about it. Looking for something positive there, but unable to hit the big one that they really wanted to hit with Seals.
Trips to the near side on 2nd down and 6. Breaking tackles, busting outside, and getting first down yardage is Javion Marlowe.
I'll tell you what, Vanderbilt came down there from Nashville, and they have decided that they're going to make it as tough a football game as they possibly can. Give credit to the offensive line, who's opened up some pretty good holes for Marlowe and Wakefield.
11-yard pickup for a first down. This one will be about a gain of a yard as Wakefield is spun down near the line of scrimmage. You know, it's early, Andre. We've only seen less than a half of football, but I already like this Vanderbilt offense more than what I saw a year ago, and they lost so much talent from that offense a year ago. You're talking about 3 pros.
Yeah, move some guys around. Drew Birchmeyer moves over from defense where he played defensive line. He's now the starting left guard and has found a home there.
Give Todd Fitch a lot of credit, the new offensive coordinator. Little screen pass, and it'll be positive yardage for Jamari Wakefield.
Well, I think Derek Mason hit a home run with Todd Fitch, giving a bunch of different looks. We talked about the multiple personnel groupings, and I'm hoping this is something that Bobby Brown can bounce back from, because he is a big part of this A&M front 7.
All SEC candidate Bobby Brown down. We'll get an update when we come back. Now, when you're talking about Bobby Brown, you're talking about one of the best defensive tackles in the SEC. Kind of an awkward looking play. Not a lot of contact here as we watch him go into the tent, Andre, but it was tough to see where this injury happened.
Yeah, I think it was one of the Vanderbilt linemen, just kind of Dan Dawkins. Doesn't block him hard, but it's maybe a leg gave or something, gave out. I'm not sure, but it didn't look good for Bobby Brown. I'm encouraged, though, that he was able to get off the field on his own.
3rd and 2. Vandy's been good on 3rd down tonight, but not this time. Stonewalled at the line of scrimmage.
I thought Seals should have kept that one. Coming with a little zone read, and he shows it inside to Wakefield, and the Aggies go crashing down. But that was the perfect time to pull one, and maybe just even walk to the first down marker. Now looks like it's more like 3.5, almost 4 yards to pick up the first down.
Leon O'Neal, who we talked about earlier, singing his praises, leading the charge on that last stop. So 4th and 4 decision time. You're at the Aggies 39, so you're probably out of field goal range here.
Yeah.
You're Vanderbilt, why not go for it, right? 4th and 4?
He's calling a timeout, get the best play call, give
Second
Todd
charge
Fitch
time out of the half.
opportunity to
Vanderbilt.
really come up with their best play call. A&M leading it 7-5 when we come back.
Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 4:05.
Yes, not exactly the score you would expect in a football game, but look, Vanderbilt will take it. Sometimes ugly is good. Vanderbilt getting a field goal and a safety. A safety coming on a penalty on a punt return by Texas A&M in the end zone. Now here we go on 4th down. Commodores trying to draw the Aggies off sides.
Go ahead and take the penalty here, and I always say that I would always decline this, because this is what Vanderbilt's wanting you to take the penalty, give them a little more room.
Kicking team, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
To knock the punt down inside the 10-yard line. So I would decline it and just continue to make the punter here, Harrison Smith, uncomfortable.
That was Mike Wright, who they rolled out at quarterback. Will change of pace, the freshman from Fayetteville, Georgia. Vanderbilt had no intentions of snapping the football. We'll see, after getting a talking to by head coach Jimbo Fisher, what Anais Smith does on this return. He's back to receive again. And he will wisely let this one bounce into the end zone. That's a teaching moment right there.
And gets a big round of applause from the fans after doing so. But he plays with so much confidence, and you really don't want to, tame that down to a point where he's back there apprehensive. Want him to play with that kind of confidence, but be smart about it.
Taylor, what do you have?
Well, guys, speaking about Vanderbilt linebacker Andre Mintz, he's actually a jack of all trades. He's a very talented vlogger and video producer, and recently he put out a video of senior cornerback Alan George proposing to his girlfriend Caitlin Richardson, a Vanderbilt cheerleader. The video has gotten over 22,000 videos on his YouTube channel.
I loved it. I watched that this morning. That was well
Okay, so the
done.
setup is it's going to be a photo shoot, senior photos.
I'm gonna let y'all know a little secret. It's not really senior photos. AG is proposing.
Try facing this way.
On me, facing that way, yeah.
Okay, now like turn around and then do a hair flip. Like straight the other way. Like.
Oh, she kissed him. She kissed him. Oh, she's
That's Alan George, who is proposing to his girlfriend of 2 years. She said yes, beautifully captured by the future filmmaker Andre Mintz.
How about the backflip by Alan George?
Well, he learned that from his future wife, the cheerleader. On 2nd down and 11, Mond sails that one a bit high, intended for Chapman.
Davion Davis, big defensive tackle in there, giving chase on Kellen Mond. And all of a sudden, Vanderbilt's finding some creases in this offensive line. A couple of series ago, it was Andre Mintz, and then there, Davion Davis. Got to find a way to fix things up front so your quarterback's comfortable.
How about this Vanderbilt defense holding the Aggies to 119 yards of offense in this first half and just 7 points. On 3rd down, Mond under pursuit, steps up in the pocket, cocks and fires, almost intercepted. That was in and out of the hands of Deshaun Jerkins.
And Caleb Chapman, the intended receiver on the back end, but Jerkins almost came up with a gift. I mean, the pressure by Mintz again forces Kellen Mond to step up. You make a quarterback uncomfortable, and then rewards happen on the back end. So it was the play or the pressure of Mintz, the outside linebacker, on Kellen Mond once again. Vanderbilt, Mike, they're here to play.
Cam Johnson back to receive the punt. It's a short one, angling out of bounds. And Vanderbilt will take over with 2:59 to go in the first half. Good field position all the way out to the 43-yard line. Don't forget, next Saturday, we got another triple header on the SEC network. It all starts at noon with Missouri and Tennessee, and then Ole Miss, Kentucky at 4 p.m. And then on SEC Saturday night at 7:30 Eastern Time, 6th-ranked LSU, of course, that's going to change after what happened today against Mississippi State. They'll be battling these Vanderbilt Commodores also on the Alt Network. Arkansas and Mississippi State. How about Mike Leach? How about that catch? Beautiful pass and a great job of holding on. That's Bresnahan, the tight end.
Yeah, but Mike Leach making a grand entrance into the SEC down in Baton Rouge. But how about the timing? Ken Seals to his big tight end, Ben Bresnahan. And I mean, that's got to be timed perfectly between three, not two, but three Aggie defenders.
From the 40, draw play, and not much there. Stacked up after a gain of about a couple. Miles Jones stopping Javion Marlowe.
Impressive footwork by Marlowe, because he had to make his first move right after the handoff. He was still in the backfield, and whatever he got, the 2 yards he picked up, that's bonus. That's a heck of a job of making guys miss between the tackles.
Vanderbilt on first down tonight. 11 runs and just 1 pass. Playing fairly conservative for the freshman, who's looked good so far. This time, though, a screen pass set up, and A&M was all over it. Pass caught by Justin Ball, the tight end, but he was surrounded.
And an excellent play from the safety. Damani Richardson kind of sniffed out the screen, knew it was there, and was right in the hip pocket of Bresnahan when he made the catch.
3rd down and 11. Seals cocks a deep ball, and nowhere near any intended target there. May not have been on the same page intended perhaps for Abdur Rahman.
Abdur Rahman kind of hooked up the route. Seals thinking that he's going to go ahead and run the fade to the end zone, and the two are kind of not on the same page there. You hate it because it just burns an opportunity to put together some type of scoring drive. And right away you could see the disgust from Ken Seals.
Sideline warning, Texas A&M. That is their first warning of the game.
So you got a minute 24 left. The Aggies offense, for the most part, has sputtered in this first half. Really fortunate, really, to be up by 2 points.
That's a respectable first half for Kellen Mond. 9 of 16 for 99 yards, but with a bunch of drops mixed in there.
Fair catch in traffic. Hauled in by Anaya Smith. You see, this is Vanderbilt's kind of game right here.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to win a shootout with the Aggies tonight, but you've got more plays, more yards, and you're dominating time of possession, ball control for the Commodores.
You're up 6 minutes in that category in terms of time of possession, and you're just getting more opportunities than the other team, and with that comes some success. This is right where if we'd asked Derek Mason when we talked to him this week, hey, you got a chance to go to halftime and the score's 7-5, would you take it? Absolutely, he would have taken it.
I think Ted Ruth, the new defensive coordinator, would have taken it as well. From the 16, Mond looking to run. Mond nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Sacked. Odengbo brings him down.
Talked about the creases that this defensive line, and they're not blitzing. It's just the front four taking care of business, keeping Kellen Mond, and that might have been a designed quarterback draw, but by Kellen Mond's body language, but they didn't allow him to get outside the box. And then when you have that happen, you got a chance.
Now do they take a chance here? Or do they play it conservative with the clock ticking down, under 45 seconds to go first half?
Now my foot would still be on the gas.
They will put it on the ground, and that will likely be the final play of the first half, a half that Vanderbilt will gladly take.
I mean, when that started, there were 43 seconds. You had 3 timeouts, all your timeouts in your back pocket.
Third and final charge time.
Call one of those.
Vanderbilt.
And Vanderbilt's trying to take advantage of it, come up big here on third down, and maybe get a possession. I doubt it.
25 back in the game clock.
Well, Vanderbilt calls timeout. That'll stop the clock. 17 seconds left.
He being Derek Mason has found 2 outstanding, and I mean outstanding coordinators.
Now, the way the game is managed now, coordinators are so important. And when you can bring in veteran guys who have produced at multiple spots, like a Ted Roof, like a Todd Fitch, that's just huge. And I think that's why when we talked to Derek Mason earlier in the week, he sounded so optimistic about this season. Just felt good despite losing a lot of key players from last year. I think it feels like his staff is the best maybe he's had.
He also told us about some young players that nobody's seen yet. That he knew that he'd had, a couple of talented recruiting classes, especially this freshman class that he just brought in. Feels like this may be the best one that he's had in the 7 years he's been a head coach. And so now you've got some explosiveness on both sides of the ball.
Vandy with no timeouts left, so that will indeed be the final play as Mon takes a knee. Vanderbilt has taken a little bit of the life out of Kyle Field in the first half. Just a 2-point lead for the Aggies. Texas A&M, an early touchdown. Vanderbilt, an early field goal, and a safety on a punt return by Texas A&M. Taylor Davis down on the field, trying to get in position. Taylor, take it away.
Coach, you told us week 1 would be a lot about not causing self-inflicted wounds. We saw a couple of those in the first half. How would you assess that effort?
Very, very poorly. I mean, we had 2 major screw-ups on special teams. I mean, that's ridiculous what happened there. We have a big penalty. We're down to the 2-yard line. We had the 3 and out. Then we scored a touchdown. We got another driver to the 2. Then we have a play on third down. Got a guy wide open. We're going to throw the touchdown, get it knocked out of our hand. And then we have the bad drive down here on that. We only had it 4 times. So, I mean, we need to clean it up. We're giving up too many third down conversions on defense, too many run yards in there. Play a little soft inside. We got to get more physical on both sides of the ball and control the line of scrimmage. I'm not happy with the line of scrimmage at all, and we got to make people smarter with the football.
This Vanderbilt defense has held your team to just 1 score. How do you increase offensive production?
Well, go out and execute and get the ball back. We only had it 3 times until the last time. We were about to score 2 times, 2 out of the 3. So we got to get it back from defense. We got to maximize on offense.
Thank you, Coach.
That is one fired up Jimbo Fisher. He said a mouthful right there.
Yeah.
Texas A&M leading it 7-5 as we go to the studio with Dari, Chris, and Gene Chizik. Bit of a slugfest in the first half at Kyle Field in College Station, Texas. The Aggies up by just 2, 7-5. As we get ready for the start of the third quarter, Mike Morgan, Andre Ware, Taylor Davis, and Andre, this is exactly the kind of first half you want if you're Vanderbilt. Too many mistakes for Texas A&M.
Yeah, a lot of self-inflicted wounds, Mike, where here on the kickoff, Chase Lane decides to bring it out, and that turns directly into field position, the advantage for the Commodores. Andre Mintz forces a fumble here. Vanderbilt's going to get field position again. An excellent pass rush, and then that's Anais Smith doing his thing in the open field, but he decides to bring a punt out of the end zone. And here we get a look at it right here. It also a block in the back, which rewards Vanderbilt with points. A safety is called because the foul was committed in the end zone. So a lot of self-inflicted wounds by the A&M Aggies. The good thing, Mike, they get the ball first and they can fix things in a hurry.
And that might help improve their first half stats, which are brought to you by Zaxby's. Who would have thought Vanderbilt dead last in the SEC in offense a year ago, outgaining the Aggies in that first half. Again, crucial mistakes by the Aggies keeping this game close, and we'll now see if Vanderbilt's defense can remain salty in the second half. But I want to know, Andre Ware, what are we looking for out of Kellen Mond and this explosive A&M offense in the second half?
I find the playmakers, the running game with Spiller, Anais Smith, get him the ball in space to let him operate. And Jalen Wademeyer, he needs to touch the football a lot more than he did in the first half.
Wademeyer had just 2 catches for 19 yards in the first half. Mond out of the shotgun. Feeds the tailback, cutting back. This is Spiller. Spiller weaving his way through traffic in the open field. Spiller with one man to beat. Down the 40, past the 30, and inside the 20-yard line. Finally knocked out of bounds by Maxwell Worship.
Well, you go to guys that have made plays for you. A fantastic job by the offensive line. A little zone blocking, and it allows Spiller the cutback lanes. And then it's just all Isaiah Spiller in the open field, power, speed. Excellent job down the field by this receiving corps of Texas A&M.
It was Kaufman pushing him out of bounds after a 58-yard run.
That's
Ball
exactly
spotted
what
at the 18.
Exactly what you wanted if you're Texas A&M and Vanderbilt. The worst thing that could happen to you.
Spiller burrows his way for a yard. Orgy on the stop for the Commodores.
I say that, Mike, because now you're backed up. It's a shot in the arm for the Aggie offense that's been kind of sputtering a little bit, or sputtered in the first half. And now you get them rolling a little bit with that run with some confidence.
That 58-yard run, the longest play for the Aggies in this game. Now second down and 9. Mond gets out of traffic. Tosses underneath at the 10, 5, touchdown! Caleb Chapman.
Well, you go all the way back to the open, and we talked about Kellen Mond being able to make plays off schedule. He gets flushed from the pocket. Nice job by Chapman of just finding an area of the field and showing his numbers to the quarterback, and right on the money was Kellen Mond.
That is the response every Texas A&M fan wanted to see.
You think that little paint peeled off the locker room walls at halftime, Coach Fisher?
Coach Fisher was fired up with our own Taylor Davis. I can only imagine what he told his team in the locker room. 3-play, 75-yard drive. The Aggies. Kellen Mond tosses a touchdown pass. 14-5 our score. Aggies on top, 14-5. There is no normal in 2020. We've certainly learned that. Well, at the half, the Fightin' Texas Aggie Band That's not them performing live. In fact, this is the first time, you got to go back 1894 when we started football at A&M, that they did not perform live at the half, so they pre-recorded. And here they are watching on the Jumbotron, kind of evaluating their performance. I'm no band expert, Andre, but I'm going to give them 2 thumbs up.
I'll give them 2 thumbs up. I was captivated with them in last year's bowl game against Oklahoma State in the Texas Bowl. And I actually have a recording on my phone because, you know, you just don't see what they do all the time. And it's a special group to watch.
And I know you don't get fascinated by stuff easily. You're not a social media guy. You're not recording everything. You're not posting pictures on social media. For Andre Ware to get his phone out and record, that says something.
Yeah, it was a pretty special performance, and enjoyed it thoroughly. Usually I'm somewhere trying to find some food in the press box at the half, but I stayed through that entire performance.
Let's see the performance of this Vanderbilt offense here to start their first drive of the second half as we say hello to Taylor Davis.
I spoke with Derek Mason about this offense. He said he's been super pleased with their productivity in the first half, other than some key mistakes. He said the offensive line is doing a great job, wants to continue to see them create those gaps for the hard-pounding running game they're showing and keep the pocket clean. He wants to see the pass game start to come together this half.
Taylor, good stuff, and certainly got to be happy with that offensive line and the job that they did. And we talked about this at the top. They're a bit of a revamped line. You've got a starting guard in Drew Birchmeyer, number 57, who actually was a defensive lineman last year. But they felt like they needed some girth up in the middle. You see him playing right guard there. Sometimes you got to do whatever you can to make it right. So far, so good with this line tonight. They've played well. Seals. Rifles one complete. Beautiful throw and a beautiful catch by the tight end, Bresnahan.
Well, they've had some pretty good tight ends come through this program. Pinckney being the Jared Pinckney of last year, but Bresnahan with an outstanding grab there and an accurate throw from the true freshman quarterback Ken Seals. He just
14 yards and a first down.
He flat out threw him open.
You like what you've seen so far from Seals?
I am, because he's taking care of the football, placing it properly, timing.
And now 13 of 17 through the air is the true freshman Ken Seals, who's from the state of Texas.
He's doing exactly what needs to be done in terms of a response drive for Vanderbilt. They need points, take care of the football, manage the game, and lead your team, and go down and try to get something on the scoreboard to keep you in this game on the road.
Going deep down the sideline, and a good recovery there by Miles Jones, jousting all the way and making a great play on the pass.
Well, he is their best cover man.
Defense, number 5, 5-yard penalty, results in a first down.
But it's going to give, that offsides is going to give Vanderbilt an automatic first down, and you see a good play, and then it's wiped out by a mistake. And so Bobby Brown gets caught offsides. Vanderbilt's going to benefit, and they'll continue with his drive.
The only good news there for A&M is that Bobby Brown is obviously back on the field and healthy. Concerning to watch him limp off in the first half. Quick pass caught in the flat at the 40. And lunging forward is Tyrell Alexander, the senior, with his first reception.
And they like him after the catch. When he get the ball in his hands quickly, he can do some magical things for you. Transfer from Oklahoma State.
Fake it to Marlowe. And like you said in the first half, Andre, these runs by Ken Seals just trying to keep the defense honest.
Just keeping them honest. Hey, let you know that if you start crashing down inside a bit too much, we have this in our back pocket. So just reminding this defensive front, the front 7, that you've got to play some sound defense and you just can't get careless.
We talked to Todd Fitch, offense coordinator. He said he had his eyes on Ken Seals coming out of high school when he was on the coaching staff at Louisiana Tech. Knew already what this young man was capable of. Jitterbug cut that time. And out of the backfield by Marlowe. Brought down by Buddy Johnson.
been impressed with Marlowe as well as Wakefield. We talked a little bit about that in the first half and how they've got a nice 1-2 punch. A guy that can hit the home run for you in Marlowe, and then you've got a thumper in Wakefield. And Todd Fitch is going to find a way to take advantage of both skill sets.
Second down and 7 from the 25. The drive continues for the Commodores. Under 10 minutes to play third quarter. Seals. Intercepted. First mistake of the game for Ken Seals. Damani Richardson was there, and I'm not sure where Ken Seals or what Ken Seals was hoping to find there.
I'm going to tell you what he was hoping to find. His receiver going to the post. He just decided to take it up the field and into the end zone on a vertical route, where Seals is clearly, in my eyes, throwing a post route. Yeah, that kind of body reaction, he's looking for Cam Johnson to run a post, which would have flattened him out with the throw. And Cam decides to run a 9 route, just a straight streak right up the field, and that burns the quarterback.
You see Ken Seals saying that's not the right route.
Yeah, when you have that kind of reaction, the body language right after the interception, and then he knows that one's not on him.
Aggies sputtered in the first half, but a great opening drive, 75 yards on the touchdown to start off the third quarter. We'll see what they have in store here from the 7. Handoff left side. And spinning his way for extra yardage is Anais Smith. Dangbo on the stop.
5 carries and 2 receptions, so about 7. They'd like to get him in the 15 to 18 touch range. Talking with Daryl Dickey, the offensive coordinator, they want the football in his hands.
You had him in the Texas Bowl last year. He was a converted wide receiver. That was his first game at running back.
What he is some player when he's got it in his hands.
On second down, Mon going to keep it. And a slide in, wise move by the savvy veteran. The last thing you want to see is Kellen Mond take a shot.
I think he's really matured into this position.
The offense. More than 4 players in the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
So you may have an offensive lineman that a little too far off the ball and into the backfield, so that run will be negated and bring up 2nd and 9.
It's a veteran line. Sorry, Andre, they've got 4 guys who have over 500 snaps. That's one of just 5 teams in the league to have that much experience.
Really wanted to improve in terms of pass protection from a year ago, where they just gave up way too many sacks for Coach Fisher's liking, and spent a lot of time in fall camp working on pass protection. They think they've got the best 5 up front.
They'll try and plow ahead in the waiting arms of Deshaun Jerkins. You mentioned the sacks. Texas A&M has been sacked 65 times the last 2 years. That's the 4th highest total in all of the FBS, and it's something they certainly want to clean up this year.
I think it was somewhere that number was around 33 a year ago, which is way too many.
Aggies 1 of 5 on third down. This is 3rd and 7. Mon out of the gun. Completes it at the 13. Nifty move by Preston, who will find first down yardage and then some. Jalen Preston.
This is a guy you love, especially around the red zone. 40+ inch vertical jump. It's excellent in the open field after the catch.
21 yards on the reception. We'll check out the Vanderbilt injury when we come back from College Station. We talk so much about the tradition, the pageantry, the way the fans are involved here at Kyle Field. at Texas A&M, and of course, midnight yell, one of the best traditions in all of college football. Everything's a little bit different, of course, with COVID-19.
Texas Aggie football is
it
back,
doesn't
and Kyle
prevent the
Field.
enthusiasm that the student base and the fans have here in College Station. I tell you, I actually went to a midnight yell years ago, Andre, the night before Johnny Manziel battled Alabama trying to beat the Crimson Tide 2 years in a row. They didn't win the second time, but that was my first taste of one of the best atmospheres in all of college football.
Lots of tradition here at Texas A&M.
Mon sets up and airmails that one. Bracketed coverage there of Jalen Preston.
And that's one of the things that Daryl Dickey wanted to see Kellen Mond improve on, and that's deep shots. And one of the keys to this game for Texas A&M were hit the shot plays when they were called, and said if we call up about 5 of them, we'd like to hit 2 or 3. And he's really improved in that area through fall camp, and really want to see that because it makes your offense that much more explosive.
Kellen Mond now 11 of 19, 137 yards on the night, and he can do this as well. He can run, but he can fumble as well. He dropped it, coughed it up, and Vanderbilt has recovered.
Boy, I tell you, it's been just a give and take by Texas A&M for every great play they have or good play they have. There's something that rears its ugly head. They're going to take a look at this. Not sure if the right knee was down as he's trying to slide, but
it's close.
It is so close.
It's Jerkins on the tackle. That's Mahoney on the recovery. And it's going to come down to the right knee of Kellen Mond. Where was that football when it hits?
Yeah, and the ruling on the field is a fumble. So if the video evidence is inconclusive, it's going to be Vanderbilt's football. Indisputable video evidence to overturn this.
We talked about turnovers plaguing this Aggies team last year, dead last in turnover margin.
It looks like it's down, but it also could be gliding. And so when you get caught in that gray area where you don't know if he's quite down and it's simultaneous,
right?
The officials will go back to the ruling on the field. And I think this is a fumble.
It's not indisputable. And they're not going to
because the knee is not under the foot of the defender at the point where it's kind of frozen, and the ball comes out right at about the same time. That is close.
And this turns out to be the biggest call in this ball game thus far.
And if I'm Vanderbilt and the ball is mine, I'm going to take a shot play. Big turnover. I'm looking to go up top.
It's a priceless look on the face of the Vanderbilt head coach, Coach Derek Mason, now in his 7th year with the program. He knows what's riding on this call. Looks like it's going to stand.
The ruling on the field stands. First down, Vanderbilt.
Huge turnover.
Not enough evidence to confirm it and not enough evidence to overturn it. So the ruling, the original ruling stands, and it's Vanderbilt football.
So now A&M has turned it over twice. They've surrendered a safety on a punt return, something you hardly ever see.
Oh, this is a perfect spot, Mike, to go up top. Nice little play action, and let's dial one up.
Go to the ground instead with Wakefield.
It's just so tough to go about your business when you don't push the ball down the field and threaten the defense. And I know he tosses the interception, but that's a mix-up with a wide receiver. You know, you talk those things through and you come back, but you can't just eliminate that from your offensive playbook. Got to be willing to take some shots.
That's a good point. I mean, even the interception, it wasn't a bad throw. It's clearly two guys not on the same page. He hasn't missed many throws tonight. Seals again going to hand it off to Wakefield, and again, no daylight. And 3rd down and 11. Another tackle for Leon O'Neal.
Yeah, because what happens is you see a bunch of bodies, guys creeping into the box late. You got 7 there already, and you're bringing an 8th guy up to defend the run because you know Vanderbilt's not going to push it down the field. So maybe the recipe for running the football is to spread them out and at least give the vision that you're going to throw it and then hand it off underneath.
Commodores 4 of 10 on 3rd down. It's 3rd down and 11. 4-wide formation. The freshman Seals goes underneath, complete, and that'll be good for a 1st down. Abdur Rahman with his 3rd grab of the night.
Here, Abdur Rahman on a crossing route and a nice job of improvising. Boy, so close for Buddy Johnson, but just can't get a hand on the football and have a fresh set of downs.
16 yards on the hookup. No gain on the carry.
Good to see that big guy back in action. Man, in the middle of this A&M defense, and they've got another player down.
You know, it is the first week. I know we've been watching college football for the last few weeks, but again, it's the opening week for the SEC. These players haven't had game conditions in quite some time. A lot of bodies down thus far. Commodores on the move. Very good stuff. Of course, Mike Bobo, the new offensive coordinator for the Gamecocks, former Georgia OC, reuniting with Bill Muschamp, the head coach. As Vanderbilt goes back to the ground game. And Javion Marlowe brought down by Buddy Johnson.
It's just been a nice. Vanderbilt's done a nice job of hanging around in this game. Now you want to see some explosive plays. Get Marlowe out in space, maybe.
We got a 3rd down and 8 here. Kind of spread it around. Really not a true go-to guy.
You just got to have somebody win in man-to-man, which is all this is. Cover 1.
Pressure for the backside. Pass is complete.
Boy,
nice throw. Good grab.
Boy, back shoulder. We call it a fade stop when I was at Houston, but it's an intentional underthrow. Throwing to the back shoulder of the receiver to stop him in his tracks, and the cornerback's up the field.
14 yards on the hookup to Rahman, who's become the favorite target tonight of Ken Seals. That's his 4th grab.
Now you see that tempo change. They go right to the line of scrimmage. A little bit too fast for me.
That's something Todd Fitch did a lot of at Louisiana Tech with Skip Holtz. A lot of up-tempo, a lot of no-huddle. Try to keep the defense off guard. See another Aggie defender limping off the field. That's Jaden Peavy.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. I think Derek Mason just absolutely hit a home run with his hires, with these 2 coordinators, Fitch and Coach Roof.
Now, Fitch is a great story. You know, he was a player at Ohio Wesleyan back in 1982. He was new to the program. The guy that helped him really acclimate was the football manager. That was Tim Corbin, one of the premier baseball coaches who's won 2 national championships at Vanderbilt. They've been reunited in Nashville. 2nd down and 6. Feed to the near side.
Oh,
not much there. A whole lot of pad popping going on as Marlowe goes down and Buddy Johnson continues to rack up hard hits.
Yeah, the quarterback of this defense and one of their leaders comes up big time in space. Well, you can hear the pads popping and just stops Marlowe right in his tracks. Think he spends a little time in the weight room?
Yeah, just a little bit. That's a chiseled 240. Not a whole lot of body fat on that frame. Another third down on the drive. 3rd and 5. Seals on a rollout. Looking deep. End zone. Caught it. Touchdown. What a throw. And another grab by Abdur Rahman.
How about the throw from the true freshman quarterback, Ken Seals? And this is on the move, and he puts it about the only place that he could put it for it to be a completion. Running out of room, over the outstretched hands of the defender, and what a job by Rahman getting his feet down in bounds.
I know I've been impressed by the freshman Ken Seals, but when a Heisman Trophy quarterback Andre Ware is impressed, that's another story.
Yeah, it's the way he's carried himself through this game. No highs, no lows. They're just kind of going about his business and doing his job, and no moment's been too big. You're talking about making your first start at Kyle Field here in College Station.
This season, for every field goal, an extra point made by participating universities, All-State will make a contribution to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, All-State. And Vanderbilt says thank you very much for the fumble on another turnover on the Aggies. It's now a 2-point game at 2:45 to play, 3rd quarter, and Ken Seals, the freshman quarterback, true freshman quarterback, has grown up in front of our eyes, Andre.
Yeah, I went to school right here in Texas, and we talked about it. Over 5,700 passing yards, 53 touchdowns in his high school career. So the guy has thrown the ball around, and you see why he was such an attraction, not only to Vanderbilt, but so many other schools around the country. Love his composure.
Absolutely. Does not look like a freshman tonight. 9-play drive, 43 yards, the touchdown after the A&M fumble. Vanderbilt is able to keep this a low-scoring slugfest, which really favors the Commodores.
They are right on schedule in terms of where they wanted to be in this football game. Derek Mason told us somewhere in the 4th quarter we are within striking range. That's good enough for us, just with an opportunity and a chance to win, and they have put themselves certainly in that position.
You know what's impressed me as much as anything about Ken Seals tonight? After he threw the pick, our crew did a great job getting a shot of him on the sideline, and he's still smiling like, hey, it's okay, no biggie, we'll move on. And he has. To the ground game on 1st down, and nothing doing. Spiller in the big paws of Rashawn Wilkins.
The junior college transfer. They said he's just mean. Just a mean player, just angry all the time when he puts the helmet and shoulder pads on. And he's just gotten better since his time. Since he's been on campus. He's really earned the respect of his teammates.
Commodores showing blitz on 2nd down. They dial it up. Mon, quick throw, and completes it. Diving grab at the 30. That's Chapman again. That's his 3rd reception.
He's mostly a special teams player, Chapman, in 2019. And with all this youth, he's kind of climbed the depth chart and made his way on the field. Caught a touchdown pass earlier. And he's got great speed. He can really take the top off of defense.
Now it's the Aggies on 3rd down. 2 of 6 tonight. And a timeout call.
Make sure you got the right play called here on 3rd and 4 with the momentum on the side of the Commodores, especially when they have the football. So they're looking for a stop right now.
That was actually Vanderbilt calling the timeout. And you see Derek Mason giving some of his guys an earful. See what's gone on in the SEC so far today. Alabama taking care of business against Mizzou. The score that's going to, yeah, I mean, that's the one that's going to stand out tonight, no question about that. A lot of people were picking Kentucky to upset Auburn. Auburn had other ideas in that game. Rough game for Terry Wilson coming back from injury. Florida, 6 touchdown passes for Kyle Trask. And the Georgia Bulldogs, after falling down early to Arkansas, rout the Razorbacks.
Able to get things in order and played a pretty good fourth quarter, second half of that game against Arkansas.
Of course, the game going on simultaneous to ours. South Carolina, Tennessee. Mond over the middle, completes one of his best passes of the night as he missiles that one to Cam Brown.
Got a big catch earlier in the first half, but this is just a slant, and he allows it to get into the second window. You can hit a receiver right out of his break in the first one, or allow him to pass a defender into that second window, and Kellen Mond does actually an excellent job of taking Cam Brown into the second window.
16 yards on that hookup. Mond and company from the 46. 4-man rush by Vandy. Pass complete. And Kellen Mond starting to heat up a little bit. That's Chapman again.
This is a nice job right here. Quick out where you just put it outside, away from the defender who's inside, and you still have a little bit of room with Chapman for him to do something after. But the play I'm impressed about was the slant. The first window's before the DB. He throws him into the second window, knowing that the defensive back is trying to undercut it. I'm going to win with the football with my eyes. Take the defender out wide, throw you inside, and all Cam Brown has to do is run through it for the catch. That's playing on another level right there.
10 more yards, another first down for the Aggies on the move, late third quarter. 2-point game. Spiller takes it left side, breaks a tackle at the 40, inside the 30, and tripped up at the 15-yard line. Finally brought down by Randall Haney.
Boy, 2nd and 1, it's Spiller time. Nice job up front by the Aggie offensive line, and hey, he's shaking tacklers. Got a nice job in terms of his speed and getting vertical up the field. No wasted movement. Now they're clicking on offense.
Good way to end the third quarter if you're Texas A&M. The final 15 from College Station coming your way. It's a 2-point game. Mike Morgan with Andre Ware and Taylor Davis at Kyle Field, College Station, Texas. The Aggies on the move, 6th play of the drive. Up by 2, 14-12. On to starting to catch fire on this drive. Looking to throw here. All kinds of time. End zone. And overshoots his intended target. Intended for the back, Anais Smith.
That's one he'll beat himself up in terms of film study tomorrow. But he had him. The receiver's open. Just been a little high at times. But love the way he's sitting in the pocket. Love the body language. It's relaxed. Now he's just got to put it on the receiver.
Chapman has been his favorite target tonight. He's at the top of your screen. 4 grabs for the sophomore. Now in motion. Mond in the pocket. Looking, end zone again, and in and out of the hands of Smith.
Yeah, pretty good play by Alan George in coverage from that cornerback spot. Just kind of waiting on Smith on an out and up. Does a nice job of just kind of getting the football out of there.
Good coverage by Orji, the sophomore.
I thought it was George, 28-26, starting to look the same to me.
They really like Anthony Orji. They believe he's going to be a dude. He's a converted safety. Now 3rd down and 10, and movement on the line. The miscues continue for the Aggies.
I don't know. This may be Vanderbilt jumping and influencing Carson Green to move.
Delay of game. Offense, number 11, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Maybe Dangbo got a sense that the clock was going to run out. He was going to get himself a freebie.
Right. I think Jimbo Fisher's going to have a lot to work with in film sessions this week.
Well, that's how you get better. I mean, you go take a look at what you did wrong, and you got to fix things, and you got to do it in a hurry. Because next week they're traveling, and it's a big one.
The next 2 weeks, really. Mon flushed out, looking to run. And inside the 10, some tough hits all the way to the 7-yard line, brought down by Orji.
Well, when you have a quarterback that can give you that every once in a while, you're not asking Kellen Mond to do that, over and over again. But when he can do it and it's 3rd down and long, now you get to 4th and 2.
What do you
puts
do
it on
here,
a coach's
Andre?
mind whether you go for it or not. I think he's going to take the points, no doubt.
Yeah.
Go ahead and put the points on the board.
We're talking about a kicker that last year from 40 and under was 16 out of 17. Seth Small, the junior. He is true on this one. Now the Aggies settle for 3 and lead it by 5.
Still right where they want to be are the Commodores.
Let's check in with Taylor Davis.
Well, guys, I asked Derek Mason his thoughts on his true freshman quarterback's first half, and he said what stood out to him was his maturity. He said having Ken Seals is like having a 26-year-old quarterback. He said this guy has nothing but composure. It's exactly what I expected. And keep in mind, guys, he's just the 3rd true freshman quarterback in the SEC to start a season opener. And look, even though this place is at 25% capacity, it is still loud, and the Aggie band is directly behind the Vanderbilt sideline. But he has remained composed. He's constantly communicating with his offensive coordinator as well as his receivers. Really seems like a veteran for a true freshman.
Dancing around on the sideline to some music that's kind of gotten in his blood a little bit, and you'd never know that he was down by 5 playing the 4th quarter of his first start.
He's been unfazed, and he's doing it against a pretty stout Texas A&M defense. Another return man taking it 7 yards deep out of the end zone, and another poor decision. So going to be rough field position for the Commodores.
That's tough because you can't have a mistake. You're on the road against a tough opponent. You don't want to do anything that kind of hurts yourself. Stay in the end zone, get the ball at the 25, and give this freshman quarterback some room in which to work with.
Watching some of the play earlier today, there has been some sloppiness in really the first few weeks in college football, and I just wonder, Andre, no spring football, interruptions with COVID throughout fall. This is kind of what we should expect, isn't it?
It really is.
Seals, nobody open, just going to fight for whatever yards he can get. Not a bad run.
Looks like he's going to get it to about 2nd and medium, but you're right. I mean, from the standpoint of having really no spring practice, you're on and off again, and you don't know. You can't work with guys during the off season and throw like you normally would. You're going to have some sloppy starts to the season, and that's exactly about what we're getting tonight.
Aggies show blitz, then peel back.
Oh, Buddy Johnson.
Not much doing on the ground for Marlowe again. Buddy Johnson has been stout tonight, the senior out of Dallas, Texas.
Well, they get great penetration up front, and that frees it up for Buddy Johnson to be in the right place at the right time. And then all he's got to do is wrap up and take the back to the ground. That's good work right there.
Leading tackler a year ago, 77 tackles, 9.5 for loss. A lot to like about this Aggies defense. 3rd and 6. High throw, reeled in, but short of the first down on the reception by Marlowe, who's immediately wrapped up by guess who? Buddy Johnson. It's like there's 5 of them out there.
Well, shows you his versatility. He plays between the tackles. The play before, he makes the tackle on Marlowe, and then he's out in space, and he's going to tackle him just shy of the first down marker, about a yard shy, and force Vanderbilt to have to punt this football. But that's just the versatility of Buddy Johnson on display.
A rare 3 and out for Vanderbilt tonight.
It's kind of good to see as well, Mike. You know, we get all these substitutions and, you know, all these guys are specialists. We got Buddy Johnson running around making plays inside, outside, in the passing game, running game.
Final 15 from College Station. 5-point game. 11:53 to go here in the 4th quarter. Vanderbilt electing to punt on 4th down and 1. Smith back to receive. And will signal for the fair catch on the back pedal at the 23-yard line. Now the Aggies, again, the offense really struggling in the first half, not just the mistakes, but a lack of productivity. And then all of a sudden in the 3rd quarter, Kellen Mond started to heat up. The running backs, including Isaiah Spiller, starting to heat up. And you see from 122 in the first half to 176 in the 3rd quarter.
A half versus just a quarter. And I think Kellen Mond in that 3rd quarter found his rhythm. The receiving core started to get in tune, especially Caleb Chapman with Kellen Mond. Cam Brown caught a nice slant into the 3rd quarter, and all of a sudden you've got an offense that has started to move.
Isaiah Spiller 7 yards away from 100. And this time it's going to be Anias Smith on the carry. Boy, does he got some wiggle in his game.
And I think that's his natural position. You get both he and Spiller in the game at the same time. We know that Anias Smith is an excellent receiving threat, but he can do this as well. This is between the tackles, not just out on the edges. He can hurt you between the tackles with his quickness. I think he's got great balance for a guy at 5'10", 190 pounds. Tough to bring down.
Made that switch from wide receiver right before the Texas Bowl last year. And keeping it on the ground this time. It's Spiller breaking free. Over 100 yards on the night. And down to the 41-yard line in plus territory, tripped up by Jerkins.
Well, I tell you what an excellent job. He's just a smooth runner. Smooth and powerful. Nice cut there, and almost got himself freed up for a sprint to the end zone.
I love the 1-2 punch of Smith and Spiller. I think that's maybe one of the best ones around in the SEC. Doesn't necessarily get as much talk as the others. Timeout on the field. 5-point game. He's only a sophomore, but he continues to make a name for himself. Isaiah Spiller with his 5th career 100-yard game.
Well, we know that he can get the tough yards between the tackles, but he's showing you some real versatility. A stretch play that he's going to cut back, and then it's off to the races, weaving through the secondary or the 3rd level of this Vanderbilt defense. Then he's going to come right back. Nice little draw play up the middle, breaking tacklers, and is almost in a foot race to the end zone. Isaiah Spiller showing you a lot of versatility tonight. 7 carries, 117 yards, averaging 16.7 yards per carry.
Yeah, a couple big ones tonight. 30-yarder and a 57-yarder for the sophomore.
False start. Offense, number 28. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
And we say all that, Mike, but it's still, with 10:44 left to go here in the fourth quarter, a 5-point game. Vanderbilt is just hanging around.
And that's what, when Vanderbilt's at its best, I mean, that's what they do. A couple bowl games under Coach Mason. And, they're not always the most explosive team in the league, but if you let them hang around, they seem to snake bite somebody every year. 1st and 15, little slant. Reeled in by Jalen Preston. The sophomore, ball squirts out.
Well, it looks like they may be calling it down, but it may be worth a look.
Initially, I thought they called him down.
But Davion Davis, his reaction. Not sure when the ball squirts out.
Good luck telling from that angle.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense.
Davion Davis kind of fought, turned back, and picked the pocket of Jalen Preston. And so, once again, the original call on the field was a fumble.
If this is the best angle, I don't know how you're going to overturn this.
He just sneaks back into the play and rips it out. And he's not down yet. By the time he's down, it looks like the ball has escaped his possession.
And they held him up long enough. You got a bunch of Vanderbilt arms just trying to rip it away. If it stands, it would be the 3rd lost fumble of the night for the Aggies.
On the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. The previous play is under review.
I just don't know how this gets overturned. And we're in a similar situation as earlier in the night where the ruling on the field actually stood. So I think that's what's going to happen here, because there are a lot of bodies in there, and you're searching for a knee or a hip or something to be down, and you just can't find it.
One last look here.
You see Anthony Orji in there, and then Davis peels back, and you don't know really when he has the ball, so you really can't tell when the ball comes out. So that there's no video evidence to give the ball back to A&M, and I think the ruling on the field is going to stand once again. Boy, this Aggie offense playing with some fire, Mike. Allowing Vanderbilt to hang around, and turnovers, and the last fumble they had, they took it down, and all of a sudden Seals puts it in the end zone.
It looks like this one is going to stand. Another fumble for Texas A&M.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. First down, Vanderbilt.
Now, the Aggies have outgained Vanderbilt 351 to 251. They've had more chunk plays, but at the end of the night, this is what has kept Vanderbilt in this game. 3 fumbles, not to mention the safety, which almost acts as another turnover.
And some of it's coached. I mean, I know Mon's fumble came out, but that one, that's a coached fumble where Davis sees a receiver that's up, he's being held up, get a big arm in there, rake it out, and he's able to get the ball on the ground, or actually come up with a fumble.
Now Ken Seals, the freshman, goes to work under heavy pursuit and wisely just throws it away.
And that's why you like Seals, because even with things flying around all around him, he's still composed. Nice job of stepping up in the pocket. He sees a defender coming right at him, holds the ball, trying to still find a receiver downfield. Okay, it's not there. Let's just throw it away and play on second down.
It's heavy pressure by Andre White, sophomore by way of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
You get the sense he's just having fun. He's just having fun back there.
I mean, if he is nervous. He's certainly not showing it. Misfires on that throw. Great coverage. Cam Johnson really could not separate that time.
They're going to have to find someone that can beat man-to-man coverage.
You know, last year,
go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I was going to say last year you had Lipscomb, you had Pickney.
Yeah.
I mean, these were pro-type weapons, not to mention Keyshawn Vaughn, who's in the NFL. They're still trying to figure out who their best weapons are right now.
You got to find Pierce, Abdur-Rahman. Someone got to come up with a big play right now.
Quick drop, heavy pressure, going to get out of the pocket and going to tuck it and run. Gets rocked at midfield, but good yardage. Hansford on the stop for the Aggies.
It's decision time for Derek Mason. A lot of time on the clock, but you don't know what's going to happen going forward. You have the football now, and it's 4th down and about 1 to pick up the first down here. And he just put his body on the line to pick up that first down. That shows some confidence in this offensive line right here.
I love this call if they do wind up snapping it.
I don't think they're going to snap it, not with him being under center.
Wakefield behind him. They do snap it, and it's play action to Wakefield. First down, beautiful call by Todd Fitch, the OC, and beautiful execution by the freshman.
Todd Fitch, you sneaky devil, you. I mean, he goes under. I'm thinking he's just going to bark out signals, try to get the Aggies to jump off sides. They do snap the football, and he's able to get Wakefield leveraged outside of the defense. What a call by Todd Fitch and Derek Mason.
And the Commodores are in plus territory. Under 9 minutes to play, a 1-possession game. Seals hands off Wakefield, gets to the edge, shoved out of bounds. Another tackle for Buddy Johnson, but a good pickup on the play.
I mean, there was no way, because you can go back and count on maybe about 3 fingers when Ken Seals has gone under center. Everything's been basically from the gun. And then he's got you fooled thinking, oh, they're just going to not snap it and bark signals.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness.
Oh, boy.
Defense number 5. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
That's on Bobby Brown, and that is a crucial mistake.
Just a couple of instances where this Aggie football team is self-destructed, and find Bobby Brown. He's not, you can't miss him. There he is, the bottom of the screen, right in the back of Drew Birchmeyer.
Completely
away
unnecessary.
Yeah.
Big mistake. Now first down. And lowering the shoulder and plowing ahead is Wakefield.
You know that comment I made earlier in the game about you get to the 4th quarter, you stop taking him on about his shoulder pads?
Yep.
It's about, it has happened. He is delivering the blow now coming downhill.
6'1", 225, 5th-year senior out of Jacksonville, Florida. He'll get a breather here. Commodores in the red zone. With time, Seals now no time, brought down.
That's when you got to be coached up to the point of, hey, get rid of it. You get to the top of your drop, the ball's got to come out, because you can't pump any momentum into this A&M defense. More than enough time to sail the football, and you should be stepping up to escape, because the pressure, you feel it coming from the outside. It's a step up. You got Leal coming full speed from the blind side. You're not going to outrun him. So step up into the pocket, or just throw the football away and come back on 3rd down.
First A&M sack of the night. 3rd and 17 over the middle. Tipped up in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Leon O'Neal. O'Neal knocked out of bounds near the 40,
15.
and that might be a late flag. It is indeed a frustration penalty on Vanderbilt, and now tempers flaring on the sideline. Chris Pierce took an extra shot, and that'll help the Aggies get some more yardage.
Just lost his composure totally. You got to know where you are on the field. And Pierce, after this is tipped up into the air, this young man's played one heck of a game, O'Neal, from his safety spot, but Pierce just loses his composure. You can't elevate and slam someone like that
After the play,
on the field, let alone on the sideline.
Against Vanderbilt. 15-yard penalty from
You know, you go back to that throw. This is one of the few poor decisions by Ken Seals tonight. They're right into double coverage. There's no way he's getting that ball to Cam Johnson.
Yeah, I think it all started with the pressure on the sack the previous play, and then you're trying to get it all back at one time, throwing into coverage as you mentioned, and O'Neal is the benefactor of that.
Looks like Damani Richardson might have tipped the ball before the pick. So Vanderbilt unable to capitalize on a golden opportunity inside the red zone, down by 5 in the waning minutes of this ball game. So now the Commodores defense in need of a stop here.
Well, this is when you want your 4-minute offense to just bleed this clock, but you get points on the back end of it.
On over the middle, almost intercepted, in and out of the hands of Jalen Weidermeyer. And I got to say, it's not been a great game for Weidermeyer tonight, but in fairness, his grandmother passed away recently, probably playing with a heavy heart tonight.
Yeah, and a lot of people from my hometown in Dickinson mourning the loss of Miss Melvina Weidermeyer. I've known her since I was all my life pretty much, and so yeah, every time I saw her, she had a smile on her face followed by a big hug. And one thing I know is she loved watching her boys play sports, and now her grandson certainly. And my condolences to the Weidermeyer family.
Absolutely.
May she rest in peace, no doubt.
On second down, Mond flares it out far side. Nice run after catch by Chase Lane. And 2 roommates connecting on that throw. Mond to the young man out of Houston, Texas, Chase Lane, one of the burners on this great receiving corps.
How about the confidence that Jimbo Fisher, you're up by 5 points, turnover, and you come out slinging it. That's confidence in your senior quarterback right there, that he's going to take care of the football. We're going to go ahead and play out this fourth quarter, trying to get points on this drive, rather than move the football on the ground with Spiller and Smith to really burn some of this clock.
Under 6 minutes to go on 3rd down and 1 to the ground game.
Wow.
I don't think so. Spiller brought backwards. Great pursuit by Rashawn Wilkins and cleaned up by Deshaun Jerkins.
You've called Jerkins his name a couple of times, and I mean, he met Spiller in the hole. Both of them did. Oh, what a heck of a job there. And if you're Jimbo Fisher, do you roll the dice and go for it here on 4th and 1? I think so. I think you give the ball right back to Spiller again and let this offensive line prove its worth.
The fullback
in.
Baldry in there. And they're going to call a timeout. And we will take it with them. 5:03 to go. Things getting very interesting in College Station. Saturday is here, and it's time to represent your school. Show us how big you're going today. Submit your best fan video this weekend to hashtag #ShowYourSaturday, and you might just get your 15 seconds of fan fame. Somebody's going to get some fame here in the final 5 minutes and 3 seconds of this one. Down to the wire, the Aggies leading Vanderbilt 17-12. Aggies going for it on 4th and 1. Mond hands it to Spiller, fumbled football. I believe Vandy's got it.
Got to unpeel a couple of jerseys and bodies, and I mean, every time they have an opportunity to put the game away, the Commodores force a turnover, and they don't just force them, they recover it.
Fourth fumble of the night for the Aggies.
The fumble was recovered by Texas A&M, but the ball was short of the line of game. We turn over on downs. First down, Vanderbilt.
So it's not a fumble,
right?
But it's still short of the line to gain, which is the first down marker.
Yeah.
And I just can't believe what I'm witnessing here with this A&M group.
Officially now, that's actually the fifth fumble, third. Only 3 recoveries for Vanderbilt. I say only, but the Aggies have put it on the ground 5 times tonight. They've lost it 3 times, and it cost them there on 4th down and 1. Home run ball on first down, and good coverage on the play. That time by Miles Jones, their best cover man.
Well, that was one of the things that Todd Fitch talked to us about, is they wanted to hit some shot plays down the field. One-on-one matchups, you're going to have some of these big-bodied receivers like Pierce make some plays for you, and they need it desperately here with about 4 minutes, 50 seconds left. They are still within striking range with some great field position to start this drive.
Second down and 10, under 5 minutes to go in this game. Little dump-off pass underneath. Aggies read it. Aggies stuff it. Not much doing that time for Marlowe. Another stop for Buddy Johnson, who's been everywhere.
Heck of a job as well, Mike, by Leon O'Neal. He really got him to turn back inside, and then every name that you call thereafter was around the football. But that young man filling the alleys from the safety spot. See him out there in space, turn Marlowe back inside, and a bunch of maroon jerseys show up in a bad way.
A lot of people tuning in right now that never would have thought this would be a one-possession game in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 11, and the Aggies going to sack. No answer for Michael Clemens, the junior college transfer.
They have raved about the fall camp that Michael Clemens has had. Considered one of the best junior college pass rushers coming out a couple of years ago. And it is starting to pay off. All 6'5", 270 pounds of him getting to the quarterback, Ken Seals.
3rd sack of the night for that Aggies defense. And boy, do they need it to come up in a big way on that drive, and they got him. Fair catch hauled in by Smith. 3:24 to play. Still plenty of time. The Aggies clinging to a 5-point lead. Kellen Mond looking for his 23rd victory as a starter in his career at Texas A&M. Rather pedestrian numbers for him. Give the Vanderbilt defense credit. They have been stingy and salty tonight to keep this a one-possession game in the 4th quarter.
And taking away opportunities and winning in terms of time of possession. But, you know, now if you're Kellen Mond, it's ball security. Those are the 2 words that are first and foremost in his mind.
Vanderbilt does have 2 timeouts remaining. Nice stick in the hole that time by number 24 for the Commodores. That's Alston Orji.
And that's what you're talking about on the sideline. You get to the huddle. You tell your team again before you break the huddle and get to the line of scrimmage, hey, fellas, let's hold on to the football.
If you're Vandy, I mean, you've got plenty of time here. Force a punt.
2 timeouts. Yeah, plenty of time.
On 2nd down and 9, Mond from the gun, rolling out left. He's going to keep it himself. And is drilled at the 40-yard line. That's the other Orji, Anthony Orji. The 2 brothers have had a big game, both from Rockwall, Texas. So we got a few Commodores from the Lone Star State shining tonight.
Guys getting to come back home.
Second charge time out of the half.
Into Texas. Some good football. We had a nice conversation about that yesterday. All the good football players that go out of this state to other places. There was a day and time during the Southwest Conference days that guys didn't leave the state. If they did, they went as far as Arkansas, and that was about it. But Baylor, Texas Tech, UT, A&M, all of us played. Houston, Rice played in the Southwest Conference, and pretty much kept all the talent within the state of Texas.
Don't forget a triple header next Saturday here on the SEC Network. It all starts with Missouri and Tennessee at noon. Got Ole Miss battling Kentucky. See if the Wildcats can recover after a tough loss to the Auburn Tigers today. Speaking of recovering, LSU is going to have to do that, and they're going to face this Vanderbilt defense, which has played very well tonight. That'll be prime time at 7:30, as well as Arkansas, Mississippi State on the alternate network. And can't say enough about what Mike Leach and his debut did with that Mississippi State team today.
Give me the biggest, baddest dude on the block and let me go toe-to-toe with him. And that's exactly what Mike Leach did tonight down in Baton Rouge, or today rather, down in Baton Rouge.
Mon on 3rd and 5, and wide open in the flat is Preston, and he'll lunge forward for some extra yardage, but move the chains for the Aggies.
That clock will stop briefly as they move the chains. Once they're set, it starts to go again. But what timing. Confidence in your quarterback. Nice out route, and Kellen Mond puts it right on. Jalen Preston stays in bounds, the smart thing to do. And they continue on with a fresh set of downs.
Now if you're Vanderbilt, your margin of error is dwindling to 0. You've got to get a stop here. Only one timeout left, clock ticking away. Under 2 minutes remaining. Smith stuck near the line of scrimmage, jammed up by a number of Commodore defenders.
How much of a luxury is it, though, when you have a senior quarterback that you can put the ball in the air with that amount of time on it with the pass to Jalen Preston? That shows a tremendous amount of confidence in that young man, Kellen Mond, that he's going to make the right decision. And it's happened. It had to happen over an entire fall camp that he's made the right decisions, puts the ball in the best place and gives A&M a chance to win. And that's been proven out. And that's exactly why Jimbo Fisher has elected to do that. Otherwise, he would just run this clock with Isaiah Miller and Anais Smith and try to get out of here. But you get in a situation in a 3rd down and long, hey, flip it out there and he's shown the confidence in Kellen Mond.
I like what Jimbo told us yesterday. He said Kellen Mond is just a different player. I mean, the arm is the same, the speed is the same, but the leadership, the intangibles, at a different point right now.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct against the Vanderbilt head coach. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You know, you have that rule where he can't come on the field, and probably giving someone on the field, and that's what that call is all about right there.
Game clock operator.
Trying to get a timeout.
Well, you go from 2nd and 8 to 1st down and 10. I mean, that is going to be awfully tough to overcome now with a minute 36 to go. Still got the one timeout left. Probably going to need to call it right after this play. Little I formation look for the Aggies. Smith dots the I, gets the carry, and goes down at the line.
A lot of bodies around the football, and they're going to maybe spin their last time out. And you see that mask, the RTI on Derek Mason. It stands for relentless, tough, and intelligent. And that's what this entire football team, this entire program is being built on this season. Andre Mintz, he mentioned it as we were in a conversation with him. Derek Mason dropped it a couple of times, but that's what he wants to be known for. Relentless, tough, and intelligent.
Well, I think it's safe to say that his team has been all of that tonight. I don't think many people thought this would be a 5-point game. Aggies are going to win it, but they are going to escape in a lot of ways. Derek Mason still fired up. The Commodores, a valiant effort on the road against a top 10 team, but Texas A&M really picked it up offensively, Andre, in the second half.
Yeah, they did. I mean, you got Spiller going. Anaya Smith made some plays. Kellen Mond through the air. He made, some plays with Jalen Preston. Caleb Chapman may be the go-to receiver at 6'5", 195, certainly down in the red zone. And then you had Cam Brown step up. So some young players starting to surround their veteran quarterback in Kellen Mond.
Not flashy numbers for Mond tonight, but a dub is a dub. And Texas A&M now 12-3 under third-year coach Jimbo Fisher after a 9-year stint in Tallahassee with the Seminoles, trying to get to that next level this year in College Station. They'll have some things to build on. They've got a tough couple of games coming up with Alabama and Florida. Awfully impressed with Isaiah Spiller tonight.
Yeah, no
Just
doubt
a
about it.
sophomore.
I mean, you average, the number of yards he did tonight is just, unbelievable. How productive he was. Over 14 and a half yards per carry on 8 carries for 117 yards, and it was up around 16 before they just decided to run the clock out.
Give Texas A&M's defense some credit. They hold Vanderbilt to just 101 yards total offense in the second half. They stiffened up when they needed to, despite the fact the offense kept coughing it up. 3 lost fumbles tonight, 5 total for the Aggies. That defense was put in some tough positions, but overall pretty salty tonight, holding Vanderbilt to just really 10 points overall. The safety, of course, coming on special teams.
Just, one of those situations where they kept Vanderbilt in this football game, and I think Vanderbilt kept itself in, forcing the turnovers, and not only forcing them, but coming up with the majority of them. They just giving themselves opportunity after opportunity to stay in this game. And as you mentioned, I don't think a lot of people thought Vanderbilt would be within 5 points of taking down Texas A&M at home.
I mentioned a pretty pedestrian game passing tonight for Kellen Mond and company, but when they needed somebody to get hot on the ground, how about the performance by the sophomore Isaiah Spiller?
Well, he did it between the tackles. They allowed him to cut back lanes, and he certainly took advantage of it, showing you some speed on the end of this, some toughness, and really securing the football all night long. There's the ability to go between the tackles, break tackles, and he was one defender away from a foot race to the end zone. One heck of a night for Isaiah Spiller.
There's a lot of guys that stood out on that A&M defense, but I got to say, Buddy Johnson, 11 tackles. I mean, he was sensational tonight.
He made tackles within the tackle box. When they ask him to go out, I mean, he doesn't substitute. All these specialist packages that coaches come up with, he's a throwback, a guy that stays on the field the entire time, all 3 downs. And that is just, almost unheard of in this day and age of football. I don't know that he took one defensive snap that he was on the sideline. He was in the game. I'll bet you it's close to every snap on defense.
Defensive coordinator Mike Elko calls him the quarterback of the defense, and he certainly led the way tonight. 10 tackles, 2 sacks. The A&M defense, several tackles for loss and a couple of interceptions as well. Taylor Davis has been able to get a hold of one elusive Jimbo Fisher. Taylor, take it away.
Thanks, Mike. Coach, a hard-fought battle down to the wire. Now that your team has a game under their belt, what are your thoughts on this group?
Well, I mean, we got a lot of work to do. I mean, critical turnovers on offense. We got a pull right there. We're going to pull that ball and score on the 4th and 1. Turned it over in their territory 3 or 4 times. Had a chance to put the game away. Our defense, I thought the second half did a heck of a job. Made big stands, got 2 critical big turnovers, set us up offensively besides the first drive down. And we only punted twice in the game. That's the bad part. we either turned it over, scored, or, I mean, just so much inconsistency. But that's my fault. That's my fault as a coach, and I take responsibility for that.
Coach, you mentioned your defense. Vanderbilt gained momentum multiple times.
Yes, they did.
Your defense prevented them from capitalizing on it. What did you like on that side?
They played great red zone defense. We give up too many third downs on some things, some big ones. But then at the end, we did a really good job of getting 2 big turnovers.
Well, Coach, you anticipated you would learn a lot here in week 1. We all are, right? As you head into an SEC-only schedule the rest of the season, what will you take away from tonight?
That we need a lot of work to do, but listen, our kids fought. They played hard. They did do that. But we got a lot of work to do if we're going to play this schedule and do what we need to do.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Taylor, good stuff. And it's not just the schedule, it's the next 2 games specifically on the schedule. How about at Alabama and at home against Florida, who looked terrific tonight in a win against Ole Miss? Once again, the final score of the Aggies defeat Vanderbilt 17-12. For Andre Ware, Taylor Davis, and our entire SEC Network crew, Mike Morgan saying so long for now.